Alright, so today we're going to look at some brand new baby Ball Python hatchlings fresh out of the incubator that I've never seen before, so it'll be pretty interesting. These are the eggs that we cut just a couple days ago. We cut them open right before they hatched, took a sneak peek inside and saw the results of the pairing. And the pairing on this was pretty interesting. We actually paired up a pastel inchy desert ghost male, which by itself is probably one of my brightest yellow snakes in my entire collection. When you actually add the pastel to the desert ghost, probably makes the brightest yellow snake, especially as a hatchling. It's really super bright as a hatchling, kind of fades out just a little bit as it ages and matures, but a lot of times it actually keeps a lot of the brightness as it ages, which is pretty awesome. And kind of the interesting thing about that snake is when I bought it, it was sold to me as not even a possible inchy. So I didn't even know there was inchy in there until I started breeding it through my collection and doing videos. And a lot of people in the audience were actually chiming in the comments saying, hey, I think that's an inchy that you produced there. And sure enough, that snake has inchy in it. And kind of the weird thing about the Desert Ghost is just as a standalone gene, it really reduces the pattern on your snake to where it almost looks like an inchy just by itself. And a lot of times I found with the Desert Ghost, when you actually add inchy into it, you really can't see the influence of inchy just with the Desert Ghost. But if you actually add inchy in with pinstripe, you can definitely see that inchy is in there. And the pairing on this was actually that pastel inchy Desert Ghost paired with a lemon blast, which is a pastel and a pinstripe. And I think it's pretty easy to see that we actually have some inchy in some of these offspring because it's actually in with the pinstripe and it has a really strong influence with the pinstripe. As a matter of fact, I think we had at least 2 snakes that had all the genes, which would be an inchy super pastel pinstripe, also known as inchy super blast or an inchy killer blast. And of course, all the offspring are het for Desert Ghost because it's a recessive gene. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull those hatchlings out of the incubator. It's going to be pretty exciting looking at these for the very first time. We'll give them some names and then we'll put them up in the hatchling rack. Alright, so here we go. This is pretty exciting. So this clutch was actually so big, it was too big for one box. I had to split it up in between 2 boxes. So I'm actually using up quite a bit of tubs here in my hatchling racks, so I think I might actually fill them up here in the next couple clutches. I'm gonna have to start selling some snakes because all my racks are actually filling up. Alright, so this, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this one box kind of to the side over here. Maybe bring some paper towels over here because this could get a little bit messy. So we'll take a look at this box here. Both boxes I actually had really good results in as far as hitting a lot of genes, which is pretty awesome. Alright, so let's take a look at these guys here. Oh yeah! This is the one where I'm pretty sure I hit 2 of all the genes. Take a look at those crazy snakes right there. That's pretty wild. Big, huge bunch of beautiful snakes right there. I absolutely love the pinstripe combos. And they'll look a lot better once they shed out too. Usually before they shed for the first time, they don't look that good. We'll move the eggshells out and let's see what we have here. Alright, so I'm just going to start with the top one here. So, wait a minute. Let's look. I'm thinking maybe we hit 3 with all the genes. Let's see. Oh, it's so hard to tell if inchy's in here. So these are super blasts for sure. But the question is did I hit inchy in any or all of these? Which ones have inchy? Which ones don't? They all look like, boy, I don't know. That is a very good question. Is there inchy or not? Boy, they all look really close. I'm going to say there's inchy in all of them. Usually the inchy really, usually the inchy gives you these blobs in here. Boy, it is hard to tell. And sometimes the inchy will kind of disrupt the side patterns a little bit, but they all look pretty much exactly the same. Ah, wow, I do not know. And sometimes the inchy has kind of a, like a thicker stripe on the back of the head stripe. It kind of widens out a little bit. This one seems a little bit wider than this one. Boy. I don't know. I think, you know what? I think I'm going to put all the genes on these just because I'm not 100% sure. And then maybe once they shed out, we'll look at them again. But this is really tough to figure out if there's enchi in these. I might have to actually go over to Morph Market and see if I can find some with enchi and without enchi. Sometimes the pastels can be really variable too. So the super pastels could really look different from one to the other. This one seems to have maybe a slightly lighter head than those other two. Those other two seem to have a darker heads. I don't know. I do know, I think I have two different versions of pastel in here too. So the difference in the lighter head could just be from the different versions of pastel. So I guess I'm just gonna call these what I think they are with the enchi. So super pastel pinstripe enchi, and then maybe I'll put the enchi in question mark, question mark the enchi. Sometimes I'll do that if it's a possible gene in there and I'm not 100% sure. I'll just kind of put it in parentheses with a question mark, and then we know it's at least possibly in there. And sometimes even in the ads, I'll actually, you know, put it in the description, this is possible enchi, but I'm not 100% sure. I think these all have enchi as far as what I'm seeing, but it is so hard to tell. These are really crazy looking snakes. All right, so that, I can't believe we got three. Back to back, three of them. That's kind of crazy. All right, so I'm gonna take a look at this guy. A little bit closer. Let's see. First, we want to look for kinks. I had one of my retic hatchlings this year had kinks. I had a kink by the tail, and then I had another blue-eyed leucistic with a kink right by the neck. Oh, it's brutal. I've never really had a problem with kinks before. So, and it just seems like kinks can be just random in any snake. Sometimes you get like a birth defect right in the spine where they can't straighten out. This guy looks good, really super mellow. Look at, he's just kind of like falling all over the place. Looks like the belly looks good, no problem at all. Alright, that's a good looking snake. So I usually wait until I feed them usually like 6 to 8 meals before they're ready to go over on the internet, and then I'll actually probe them, figure out the males and females. Seems like it's a little more accurate. If I probe them like after 6 or 8 meals, it's like 100% accurate using a metal probe. And you just put the probe right in the pocket of the tail right here, and if it goes in just a little bit, then it's a female. If it goes really deep, then it's a male. So I'm going to pull a name out of the bucket here. Get some names for these guys. We'll put them up in the hatchling rack. Alright, this guy's name, I've never used this name before. This guy's name is Bopper. So here's my tub setup that I use. I actually have the ARS caging hatchling racks. I have one that holds 39, and then I have one that holds 65 hatchlings, so quite a few hatchlings that I can hold here in my collection. Then I just use like a coconut husk. I just mix this up. It's a Pro Cocoa coconut husk, and then I use just these disposable deli cups. I actually rewash these. These are 8-ounce deli cups that go in here. The 16-ounce cups go in the bigger racks. Alright, so I print out a label for all my hatchlings and just attach it right above the tub on my hatchling rack using my Brother P-Touch label maker. This thing's printed so much. I can't believe how many labels I printed with this. Every single year I print a whole bunch of labels. So this guy's name is Bopper. I put it right on my label here, and every now and then I'll get someone that's kind of confused and they'll be like, hey, what is the Bopper gene? It's like, no, that's the name we picked out of the jar for the snake. So this is Bopper. I have C0822. This is the 8th clutch of 2022. This is Super Pastel Pinstripe. I put enchi with a question mark in parentheses. Het Desert Ghost. It's 100% Het Desert Ghost on this one. Alright, let's take a look at the next snake here. So I'm guessing these are all the same. Super pastel pinstripe inchy het desert ghost, pretty awesome snakes. Alright, so as far as my holdbacks, it's kind of funny because I'm always like, yeah, I want to hold this one back and this one back, and then I get to the end of the year and I have like, you know, 15 holdbacks. And I'm like, I don't have enough room in my entire reptile room to hold all these snakes, 15 snakes every single year. So then I have to kind of choose at the end and then sell some of my holdbacks. So depending on what I get in my future hatchlings that come out of the egg, I might hold back 2 of these, a male and a female, once I figure out the male and the female, and then I'll probably sell the other one over on Morph Market. Just one of each is all I need. If I actually breed them together, I'll pretty much get all super pastel desert ghosts, which would be pretty awesome. Of course, only 1 out of 4 would be a desert ghost because they're both het. You breed 2 hets together, and then you get a 25% chance you'll get 2 copies of the gene. This guy looks really good here. Take a look at this guy. Hopefully, if he's looking good, no kinks in this guy. Slightly, a little bit of gray on the head on this one. I'm thinking the other one with the whiter head just has a different version of the pastel in it. I'm thinking this looks like Enchi just because of how reduced. It kind of has these little blobs. Usually when you add Enchi to the pinstripe. Of course with the super pastel it's so hard to tell because the super pastel kind of has the same effect as the Enchi, really kind of reducing it like that. Eyes look good. Mouth looks good. Let's look at the belly here. Belly looks good on this guy. Alright, another nice looking snake. Pull a name for him. Here's a good name someone picked out and gave me this name under the comment section. This is Jelly. Alright, let's see what else we have in this box of beautiful snakes. I might as well do this other one here. Pretty much exactly the same. I'm thinking this is exactly the same. I can't believe we hit 3 of them. I definitely want to hold back some more hets, at least some females. I actually have another clutch that's hatching here pretty soon. I could have a 50% chance of visual desert ghosts on that one. So if I actually hit those, I might not hold back more than maybe one of these. So it really depends what I hatch on. I also have my triple hets, my albino pie clown triple hets. If I actually hit some interesting combinations with that one, I might hold one of those back too. So a lot of stuff. I actually have 3 completely scaleless ball pythons. I wanted to hold those back too. So depending on what else I hatch, I don't know. I'm starting to run out of space here. I'm gonna have to get another snake rack here in my room to hold all these crazy snakes, but I'm actually producing some really crazy stuff. This guy looks pretty much exactly the same as the other 2. I think it's all the genes in these, but it's so hard to tell. Alright, let's take a look here. Let's see. This guy's a little bit squirrely. I kind of want him to stretch out to look for any kinks in the spine. Looks good. These guys are really chunky. Look at how chunky they are. Looks like the belly's good. The head's good. It looks really friendly. Yeah, it looks good. Alright, that's another really nice one. Whoa! This guy seems a little bit more jumpy than the other ones, which is interesting. Alright, let's take a look at this, see if we can get a name for him. Here's a good name. This guy's name is Angel. Alright, so we have 2 more snakes left. So let's take a look at this. I'll start with this one. Let's take a look at this guy here. Alright. So let's see if you can guess what this one is. This one, so we have pastel or super pastel, usually you can tell the difference between just one copy or two copies. Usually if you have two copies of the pastel, the top of the head is really light, super white on top of the head. So this guy kind of has like a kind of some gray on the head, a little bit of kind of a blackish gray. So that's just one copy of pastel. And then he's got pinstripe. You can see this really strong stripe right down the back. And usually when you add the pastel to the pinstripe, it actually, on a lot of your pinstripes, you'll actually have like these little scrunched up alien heads on the side. And then when you add pastel, it kind of wipes them out so you don't have the scrunched up alien heads that you'll see on here. So sometimes you'll actually see some lemon blasts that are really close to just the pinstripe. You can see like one little remnant of a little alien head right here. It's kind of scrunched together. But most of the snake it's completely wiped out. So you'll actually see there's definitely pastel in there. So this is pastel pinstripe. As far as enchi, I don't think there's enchi in this one actually. I guess it could be possible. To me that just looks like a regular lemon blast. I don't think there's enchi, but I don't know. I might put enchi in parentheses again with a question mark, just because it's possible. A lot of times I like to mark kind of the possible genes in there that I think maybe I can't see it just because of the pattern disruption from the pastel pinstripe. Usually the pastel pinstripe is really visually dominant. If you have both the genes, pastel and pinstripe, in any combination, usually you can see both the pastel and the pinstripe together, and it really dominates a lot of combinations where you can definitely see both those genes working together in a lot of combos. Alright, so let's take a look, see how straight the spine is here. Make sure he's okay, no problems. Look at the belly. Looking good, looking good. Alright, we can pick a name for him. Alright. Actually, I just named one that. I think I got a duplicate. Oh, that's pretty funny. I don't think I use this. I don't know if this is a duplicate or not. This guy's name is Cypher. Alright, last snake in this box. Let's take a look at this guy here. Alright, wow. Alright, so I'm going to try my best to guess the genes on this one. Alright, let's take a look here. This is definitely a pastel. Definitely has pastel in there. The question is does this one have enchi? I don't think it has enchi now. I don't think it's reduced enough to actually have the enchi. Of course, the bands on the head are kind of wide towards the back of the head. So, boy, I don't know. What do you think of that? What do you think of the headband on that one? Do you think that's an enchi? I don't know. I would think if you had enchi in this, the pattern would be way more jumbled up and way more reduced. That just looks like I mean, you know, not looking at the head, just looking at the pattern, I think it's just a straight pastel on that one. Just a straight pastel. All right, let's see. Let's kind of stretch him out a little bit. Looking good. He's pretty spry. Let's look at the belly on this guy. Whoa! He's like kind of freaking out. All right, guy. Need to move a little bit slower for this one. All right, let's pull a name out of the jar here. See what we got. I like these little, well, you know what? This one, that's kind of a guy's name. I used that last year and it was Elvis. Actually, last year I had an Elvis and it was a female. This is kind of a, I don't know, this is kind of a female name too. So I kind of wanted to pick gender neutral names on these. So this one is too. All right, we're gonna stick with this one. All right, we're shooting for Willie. All right, so here's the other box, which is the second half of this clutch. So let's take a look at these. All right, looking good, looking good. Another big pile of snakes in there. Alright, let's see what we got. A lot of beautiful pinstripes. I love the pinstripes. Let me move all these eggs over here, since we're done with all that. Alright, what should we start with? Keep in mind these are all het for Desert Ghost. So even that last one, Willie the Pastel, he was 100% het Desert Ghost. So let's start with the most genes. Let me dig through my pile here. Boy, I don't know. I don't know. Wow, look at all these snakes. Do I have more of the same? Wow, look at these three. Wow. So these... Alright, so these are not the same. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I think those are... Wait, let me get another snake. Let me get one of these from this other box here. This is kind of interesting because it's always good to, the more you hatch out, the more you can really compare. So take a look at this one. So this is the Super Pastel. And it always helps when you have more snakes and you can start hatching them out. So this is the Super Pastel, I think Enchi. So these are not Super Pastel. Look at the difference between the heads on the Pastel versus the Super Pastel. Quite a big difference in the color of the head. So I think all three of these just have one copy of Pastel. Then the question is there Enchi in it? Alright, let me put this guy back. It's always good to to kind of have a second opinion. It's funny because you hatch stuff out and then you're like, oh yeah, this is you know, a certain combination of genes, and then you hatch another one out and you're like, wait a minute, I was wrong on that one, because now I have this other snake that looks completely different. So pretty sure these are all just lemon blasts. Which ones have Enchi? Good question. I'm thinking on all these. The problem is when you add pastel and pinstripe, it's a really strong pattern disruption with the pastel and the pinstripe. This one kind of has some little scrunched up alien heads on the sides. This one's kind of wiped out a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if you can tell one from the other as far as which ones have Enchi. Sometimes with the Enchi you get these little, with the pinstripe you get these little bigger blobs like that right there. With like an Enchi pinstripe you get the, I don't know. But depends on the version of the pastel and just the particular snake. I would say this one maybe doesn't have the Enchi in it on this one. Oh, it's so hard to tell. Alright, so for these three, I'm just going to call them Lemon Blasts. Possible Enchi with a question mark. I don't know on those. That's so hard to tell on those. Yeah, you might have to just wait until you breed them and prove them out. And sometimes you have, you know, like one certain gene that can kind of disappear in a certain combination where you just can't see it. Or maybe I'm just not seeing the marker with these. So, all right, so I'm just going to grab one of these Lemon Blasts here. So this is Pastel Pinstripe, possible Enchi, 100% het Desert Ghost. On this one, I love the pinstripes. Pinstripes, definitely one of my favorites. Pinstripes used to be worth a lot of money, and now they're really inexpensive. All right, so we'll take a look at the belly. The belly looks good. Just kind of straighten them out here. Make sure we don't have any kinking. It's always kind of tricky to straighten them out. Get them to relax and kind of crawl through your fingers. This guy's just one lazy, big, chunky snake. Alright, looking good. No problem at all. Alright, so let's get a name for this guy. Hopefully we won't get a crazy name that we have to skip over. I've never used this name. This is a good one. This is Sassafras. Alright, so let's take another look at this. See if we can pull another snake out. You know, the other interesting thing too with Anchi, sometimes it'll actually brighten your snakes. Sometimes it'll kind of give it like a yellow, like a brighter yellow color. It's really hard to tell now because of the because they haven't shed out for the first time yet. But if you actually take a look at the difference between these, it almost looks like this one's a little bit brighter than this one. So if I was a betting man, I would say there's Enchi in this one just because it's a little bit brighter of a snake than the other one. Alright, so I want to pull this one out. So maybe once they get a little bit older, whoa, this guy's like squirming all over the place. Alright, let me close this up so we don't lose any snakes. Maybe once they get a little bit older and they shed out for the first time, maybe we can actually see if there's Enchi. Whoa! This guy's like flying out of my hands. Alright, let's take a look at this guy. Whew, this guy is squirrely. Good thing, one of the best things I like about ball pythons, fresh out of the egg, is they will not bite you. I've never been bit from a ball python right out of the egg. They're just a little bit squirrely, but they're not bitey at all, which is really awesome. Pretty cool. No kinks that I can see. Looking good. Belly looks good. That guy is squirrely. That's pretty funny. See if I can hang on to him. Oh, this is an interesting name. Fawn. Alright, let's take a look at this. So I actually have 2 more tubs left in my ARS 1039. And we have 4 snakes. So I'm gonna have to move some snakes over here with my retics. This is like my retic rack over here. My ARS 1065 actually has 65 tubs over here. And I think I have like about 30 that are free. So we definitely have room for these guys, but we're filling up some tubs, man. Can't believe it. Alright, let's take a look at this guy. I can't believe I hit so many that have so many genes in them. It's kind of interesting. So, no normals, no Enchis, just a few pastels. So it's pretty awesome that we're actually getting multi-genes like a pastel pinstripe. Another lemon blast, pastel pinstripe, possible Enchi on this one. I don't know, this guy's pretty bright. Could have the Enchi in it. Alright, let's see if we can stretch this guy out a little bit. Let's see. Let's see. Looking good. No kinks. Belly looks good. Cute little face. Looking good. Alright. Let's pull a name for this guy. See what kind of crazy names we can get here. Here's a cute little name. Squiggles. Alright, I think we're down to just 3 more snakes here. These look like single genes. So this is kind of interesting because I'm not sure if there's Enchi in these either. I don't know about this. Maybe in this one. I think there's Enchi in this one, actually. I think. So take a look at this one. Normally with your pinstripes, let me move this out of the way here. Oh, alright. So I gotta keep an eye on that guy so he doesn't crawl out. Alright, so normally on your pinstripes you'll actually have these scrunched up alien heads right along the sides. You can see like on this one, kind of scrunched up, and then you take a look at this one. No alien heads that are scrunched up. Of course, the pinstripes can be a little bit variable, but if I was a betting man, I'd say this one has Enchi. Just the straight. Let's take a look at the other side. See, it kind of wipes out all the eyes. I'm thinking it has inchy, but if you look at the kind of the head pattern, the stripe on the head looks pretty much almost the same. It's hard to tell from the head. I don't think you can tell. I think I'm going to call this one a pinstripe inchy and call this one just a pinstripe. I think I'm confident enough to call this one. Just because it's kind of wiping out the alien heads. Look at it right back here. It's kind of all the patterns wiped out, completely wiped out. All right, I'm calling this one pinstripe inchy. I could be wrong. It could be just a pinstripe. The other one could have inchy. I don't know. Inchy is so hard, but I'm thinking this one does have it. Pinstripe inchy. It's kind of an interesting combination. I don't think I've ever produced a pinstripe inchy before. So let's take a look, make sure he's nice and straight. Looks good. Belly looks good, no problems. Nice big chunky snake right there. Alright, let's get a name for this guy. And sometimes if I actually look back at the video, I actually kind of review the video before I post it, and sometimes I change my mind on some of these genes. I'm like, wait a minute, that wasn't right. I have to go back and change the labels. And sometimes people in the comments will say, hey, I think that didn't have inchy or did have inchy or something. And then I'll go back and kind of look at some of the stuff on Morph Market too and kind of compare. So sometimes it's kind of difficult to figure out the genes in these, but if I was a betting man, I'd say this is a pinstripe inchy. Alright, so this guy's name is Atlantis. Alright, so let's see what else we have in here. I want to go with this pinstripe. I think this is just a straight pinstripe. Het Desert Ghost. I've actually seen the visual Desert Ghost pinstripes. They look really crazy if you actually make a visual with 2 copies of the Desert Ghost. Because keep in mind, Desert Ghost is recessive, so you need 2 copies for a visual. And they look completely different. They don't really look as gold when you add the Het Desert Ghost. It looks really clean. You really don't have a lot of the almost like a granite look on the side. You add Desert Ghost and it really cleans it up. You have to actually go over to Morph Market. Look at the pinstripe Desert Ghost. They look really crazy. I definitely want to produce some someday. That's why I want to hold at least one of these back that have pinstripe with the Desert Ghost. Maybe if I just held back one, it would probably be the female, the super pastel pinstripe inchy Het Desert Ghost on that one. But yeah, this would be looks pretty good. All right, let's see if he's got any problems here. I always kind of hold my breath looking for kinks. Look at the belly, looking good. All right, so let's pick a name for this guy. All right, let's see here. I've never used this name before. Nice name. This guy's name is Halo. Alright, so I have another box here, but first I wanted you to see this pastel. So the last one is a pastel, and I think I have 2 different versions of pastel. So this is in the same clutch here. When I was looking in the egg, they looked really different. But now that I'm looking at them, they don't look that much different. They look pretty much the same, which is pretty interesting. I don't think there's inchy in either one of them. This one may be a little bit brighter. So this guy's name was Willie. Willie, hopefully Willie's not a female. That's kind of a guy's name on that one. Alright, last one here. I usually kind of filter out the duplicates and the names that aren't gender neutral. I think on this batch I just kind of took everybody's name, just kind of threw it in a jar and figured I'd kind of sort it out afterwards. I think there are some duplicates and interest. That's all the names. I think it was like 3 or 4 whole sheets of names that I cut out and put in there. which is kind of crazy. All right, this guy is pretty cool. One of my favorite combinations is pastel with the Desert Ghost. So this is pastel, has one copy of the Desert Ghost. All you need is another Het Desert Ghost or a visual bred to this one. And you get the pastel Desert Ghosts, which are really crazy bright yellow snakes. Alright, so let's take a look. No kinking that I can see. Let's see the belly. Belly looks good. Good looking snake right there. Alright, let's pick a name for this guy. That's kind of a girl's name. Alright, April. That was April. That's a girl's name, right? Alright. This could be a boy or girl, I guess. Alright, we're going to keep this one Pixie. Alright, so the next clutch coming up is a bamboo clutch. I actually have 6 eggs, and it should be hatching here in just a few days. Matter of fact, I could probably cut it here in a day or two. I usually wait until they kind of peep out a little bit, so I know they're definitely ready to come out. And that one was actually bamboo, lesser, pinstripe, and calico. But I bred it to a normal, so we won't get any blue-eyed leucistics. But we could get some straight bamboos or bamboo calicos, which are kind of the most popular combinations. So far this year I have 0 straight bamboos that I produce. Everybody wants a bamboo. I produced 1 bamboo calico so far this year. So hopefully we'll actually hit at least a couple straight bamboos on that one coming up here in just a few days. And then about a week after that, I'll actually do my triple head eggs. I got, I think, 4 eggs from my albino pied clowns bred together. So there's like a, I think it's a 1 in 64 chance I'll hit the triple visual albino pied clown, which would be pretty awesome if I hit that. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.